Glad I brought the bug spray today. Oh man. What's up, friends? Welcome back to the channel. Dave from Chase the Summit here. We're out on the trails yet again for another training vlog, whatever you want to call it, another update on training, kind of just all things going on with me right now. Okay, so today we are on my local trails. We're out in an area called Bald Hill, and it's a good spot for me to get some fairly technical trails and some elevation gain in. As the name implies, it's a hill. It's not a huge hill, it's only a couple hundred feet tall, but typically I come here and I do a bunch of laps around and around, and it adds up over time. And today the X factor is that I am running with a full pack, trying to simulate my 100-mile pack, the way it balances on my body, and making sure I'm ready for the Vermont 100, which is only, I don't know, 3-4 weeks away right now. Oh, that's scary. So in the pack today, I've got water, I've got electrolytes, I've got some stuff in the back just to weigh it down a little bit and just get an idea of what it's gonna feel like on race day. I've done it before, but you know, you get rusty. So we're just out here with a full pack on a hot day. It's about 90 degrees Fahrenheit here in Massachusetts today. The humidity's up there, the heat's up there. It's just sweltering out here. But I've been making it a point to run midday right in the middle of the heat, because who knows what could happen on race day. Vermont could be super hot. There's some exposed areas, so if you're out in the sun, you really feel it. So making a point to get my time in, do some heat training, wear a full pack, all the things to try to prepare myself for the race. And on the topic of Vermont, I've got some exciting news to share with you. This year, Chase the Summit, the YouTube channel, is an official sponsor of the Vermont 100 endurance race. Can you believe that? My little YouTube channel has grown up to be a sponsor of a race. This is a race that I've held in high regard for a number of years. It was like my first 100-miler that got on my radar. I failed on my first attempt. I made it on my second attempt. And I'm going back again this year. But what does it mean to actually be a sponsor of this race? What does it mean for the brand, for Chase the Summit, for Vermont? A couple of things. If you didn't know, the Vermont 100 Endurance Race is one of the oldest 100-milers in the United States. The course itself is beautiful. It's all like farms and rolling hills. It's all green, and it takes place like in northern central Vermont. Just a beautiful area. It's also a charity fundraiser. The Vermont 100 directly benefits an organization called the Vermont Adaptive. And what the Vermont Adaptive does is they adapt sports for people with all kinds of disabilities so they can take part in them just like me and you. This means they're making specialized wheelchairs to get out on mountain bike trails. They're making specialized canoes for people to get out on the water. And it's all because of charity events like the Vermont 100 donating a ton of money to their cause. So what my goal in my involvement is to raise money and awareness for this benefit, because it's a big deal. It's something that could change someone's life. And the whole point of this vlog and the whole point of me talking about this is because I want to get you involved in the process. If you want to help out the Vermont Adaptive and the Vermont 100 and Chase the Summit, you've got two options. Go down in the description of this video where there will be a donate link over to Pledge Reg. That's where you can just donate money directly to the Vermont Adaptive. The second thing you can do, the other way you can donate, is to shop at chasethesummit.com, where you can buy a sweet hat like what I'm wearing here. You can buy the shirt I'm wearing. And if you use the discount code Vermont100, all one word, it'll give you 10% off your entire order. But not only that, I'll take 20% of the rest of the profit, and I'm gonna donate that directly to the Vermont Adaptive. But the fun does not end there. I'm also gonna be at Friday's Runners Expo. So the day before the event, there's a Runner Expo where all of the sponsor brands will be there, including myself. I will have a booth and a table. I'll be selling hats and t-shirts. And of course, all the proceeds will be going towards the Vermont Adaptive. And it's just a way for me to kind of hang out, say hi to any of you that might be there. So that is the super exciting news about the Vermont 100, trying to raise some money Gonna be at the Runners Expo. Come say hi. All right, on to the next topic. Let's talk about training. So as many of you may know, I'm a man who's about to turn 40 years old. My birthday's in July, just a couple of days before the Vermont 100. When I actually run the race, I will be 40 years old, which is a number I don't like. Makes you sound old. Do you remember being a teenager and like talking about 40-year-old guys as if they were like elderly people? I can't believe I'm there. So in terms of training, I've been ramping up like crazy, probably a little bit too quick, at risk of injury, but I really wanted to get into like big mile weeks to prepare myself and sort of as a confidence boost that I can still do these things. So at this point, I'm actually feeling pretty good. Last week I broke 60 miles in the week with a lot of like really strategic workouts. I had some speed work built in, I had some trails built in, some elevation gain, and the body's feeling good. Not trying to toot my own horn here, but kind of surprised with how the body's reacting to all this new load. Given that I did take some time off. But overall, I'm actually feeling somewhat confident that the body is like nearly ready to be racing. And that's good because, like I said, I'm about 4 weeks away, and that means I should be entering my taper period in the next couple of weeks. But on that topic, all this additional time in training has made the work-life family balance really difficult. I feel like I've been prioritizing training, but it also takes a hit in other areas of my life. For example, my kids in baseball, my other kids in soccer. We just got done with the season, but it was a real struggle to try to balance all those things at the same time while also prioritizing my work, which is this YouTube channel. Like, if there's a new product coming out and, a new GPS watch or whatever, I kind of have to drop everything to focus on that project to get it done. But you kind of get the idea. I'm not trying to complain or anything because I know a lot of people are in a similar boat as I am. Everyone's out there grinding, especially if you're a parent and you're training for any kind of event, whether that be ultra marathons, marathons, a cycling, triathlon, whatever. You know what it's like. It's a challenge, it's a struggle, and all you can do is the best you can do. And I try to remind myself of that all the time, that something is better than nothing. And I have this problem where if I don't have enough time to go and do like a super hardcore workout or a long run, sometimes in my mind I'm like, why even bother? Let's just crack a beer, hang out on the couch with the family and call it a day. But that is the wrong mindset. Even a 2-mile run, a 3-mile, a 5K, whatever, is going to be more than nothing. And that's the point I'm trying to get across, and something I constantly remind myself. And when it comes to nutrition and what I'm going to be wearing and eating and all that stuff, I think I've got most of that dialed in. For example, I'm wearing the kit I think I'm going to be wearing at the race right now. I've got a Solomon Advanced Skin 12 set. This is a really old vest. I bought this 2019 maybe even before that. I've got the Chase to Summit smoke shirt, which is one of my favorite running shirts right now. Not just because it's my own, but because it's super lightweight and breathable. You can almost see through it, but not quite. I've got Patagonia Strider Pro 5-inch shorts. These are currently my favorite running shorts, but I've got a lot of them in the rotation. I also like the Goldwyn shorts as well. I'm undecided on what shoes I'm gonna wear. Right now I'm wearing the Hoka Mafate Speed 4s, which I love these shoes quite a bit. They're awesome, but I'm a little bit torn because I've never run past 50K in these shoes. The last time I ran 100, I wore Ultra Mont Blanc shoes, which are 0 drop. These Mafate Speed 4s are, I think, 5 millimeter drop. And then I'm also toying with the idea of running in Hoka Challengers, which are like a hybrid shoe designed for road and trail. And the trails at Vermont are kind of a hybrid situation. There's a lot of like single track, but then there's a lot of like Jeep roads and running dirt trails and things like that I think the Challengers would excel on. But again, I haven't run super long distances with Challengers, so that's kind of a risk. And when it comes to nutrition at Vermont, what I'll be eating and drinking for the most part, I'm going to be going with these. These are Precision Fuel Gels. These are 30 grams of carbs, about 100 calories, very tasty. They go down really easy. I'm new to these, but they've been really, in my training so far, I've been really liking them because they taste super light. They don't have a flavor that gets old, and that can be a problem if you've got a very intense flavor in your gel. So we are creeping closer and closer to race day. The next couple of weeks will be very stressful and interesting as I dial in the last few details of the race and get ready to be there for both the Runner Expo on Friday, to meet and greet all of you friendly faces out there, and to run the race on Saturday. It's gonna be wild. Okay, I've been blabbing a lot, and you might have noticed back there that I actually crossed over the summit, or the top of this very small hill that I'm running laps on right now. And now I'm on my way back down the hill to turn around and do it all over again. And this time I'm probably gonna do it a little bit more aggressively because I won't be talking to a camera on the way back up. And the final thing I'll mention here before I let you go is to follow me over on the podcast channel as well. The podcast is both a YouTube channel and an audio version you can find on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or whatever, but there's also the video version as well. And I'll be talking a lot more about Vermont prep, what's going on at the race, maybe even post-race stuff, but yeah, you don't want to miss that, so follow me over there as well. And while you're at it, make sure to drop in the comments down below and let me know if you're running Vermont this year, if you're running, volunteering, you're going to be at the Expo, anything like that. Comment down below, I'd love to hear from you. And even if you're not running Vermont, comment down below and tell me what you're running this year. What race is your A goal, your B goal, or do you have some big adventure planned? Let us know in the comments. Open up the conversation. I'd love to hear from you. Okay, I'm gonna go make myself suffer now. Let's do it. Oops. I kicked the camera.